How is everyone? How is everyone? Doing well? We missed the class last week, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. Have the summer holidays started for everyone?
No.
Acha. You all are waiting for that? How many of you are waiting for your summer holidays to begin? And what do you all do during your summer vacation? Go out
Yes.
and do what? What else?
Nothing.
All right. Acha, let's just revise a little bit whatever we've done so far briefly so that um, we are in touch with whatever has been discussed. What did we start with in the beginning? Who remembers? Because there's no point going ahead if we don't remember what we have done till now. Okay, let's start with Radhya. Please share your.
In the beginning, we did that. Could we see God or not? Is God present or not?
Okay, and how did
The
we
10
try to?
avatars of Vishnu.
How did we try to prove that?
Through a story.
Okay, would you like to share that story? The question was, how can we
Seriously,
believe
I
in
don't
God?
remember the story so well.
Okay, who remembers that story? How can we prove that God if we can't even see Him? Who is that?
Sandeep.
Okay, please share the story with us.
Basically there was a fish. So basically there was a king and he used to always love the god. He used to clean the god's mandate for him.
Uh,
So then
I
one
can't. We can't hear you clearly. There's some disturbance.
now.
Better, yes.
So basically there was a king who used to always love the god. He used to clean the god's mandate and all.
Hmm.
So then one day the king was stuck in a boat with a few sages. The sages told him to chant the god's name. So then he chanted the god's name. Then a beautiful big fish came up here. It was God who transformed himself into a fish, and they all climbed on it and got rescued.
Okay. Vishi?
I remember it was some student who said that who would study somewhere in this, and the teacher would not believe in God. So
Yes.
one student said that we cannot see the way we cannot see the teacher's brains, and the same way we cannot see God, but He is there. Something like
Yeah. So now you all remember the story?
Yes, sir.
The teacher was saying you cannot touch God, feel God, smell God, sense. So therefore we think He doesn't exist. But then
Then, sir, you had also said that if God was not there, then the universe and all would be created.
yes, if there is creation, there must be a creator. If there are laws, there must be a lawmaker, right?
No, a lawyer.
No, lawmaker, not a lawyer. All right. What else did we discuss? This is one, whether God exists or not, how we can prove. Just because I cannot see someone's brain doesn't mean it doesn't exist, isn't it? There are so many things in this world that we can't see, but we believe they exist. Like so many people must be living in Kolkata. We have not seen all of them, but that doesn't mean that they don't exist, right? Because we are like frogs in the well. Remember the story, Frog in the Well?
No. Yes.
So if somebody challenges like that, oh, you can say you are like a frog in the well. Who remembers the story? Okay, there were two frogs living inside a well. So actually one. So one day, one of his friends visited from the ocean. Now this frog had seen the ocean. He comes. So where have you come from? I live near the ocean. Okay. The frog living in the well asked, so how does the ocean look like? How big is it? So the frog from the ocean said, oh, it's very big. So the frog inside the well said, is it as big as this well? The other frog says, no, Baba, he's much, much, much bigger. This ocean is much bigger. Oh, is it twice the size of the well? No, it's much bigger than that. 5 times? No, it's much bigger. 10 times? He said, no, no, you can't fathom. He said, impossible. I cannot believe in something that can be 10 times as big as the well. This is impossible. Now, this frog has never gone outside the well. All he knows is this well. That's his world. So therefore, he thinks that since he cannot perceive of this huge ocean, so it cannot exist. That is false pride. To think that all I know is all that exists, isn't it? That's proud. That's being proud. That's false pride. So, number one quality that we need, just tell me, which is one quality that we need uh, to advance in life and to make sure that people like you always. Even if you make thousands of mistakes, if you have this one quality, everybody will be happy with you, they will like you, they'll forgive you for your mistakes, and even God will be, Krishna will be very, very pleased with you. One quality, and that is very important. If you want to learn something in life, if you want to advance, if you want to accomplish something, what is one quality, the foremost of qualities that we all must possess? Guess. Raise your hand and let's see how everybody thinks like. Yes, Radhya, your hand is up.
We shouldn't be proud. Like we should
What is
have
the opposite? What is the opposite of false pride?
should be humble. Pride.
Humble. Yes, humility it is called. See, if we want to learn something in life, first we have to understand, we have to be humble enough to accept that we don't know everything. But if we think we know everything, can somebody teach us? We'll always keep arguing. Like, have you all heard about the Bhagavad Gita? Right? Bhagavad Gita, it's a conversation between Krishna and Arjuna. Now, Arjuna is giving a lot of arguments. Until he kept on giving arguments, Krishna did not speak a word. So only when Arjuna became humble and he said, oh no, I actually don't know what to do. I'm confused. I need some guidance. That's when Krishna started speaking. That means if a person thinks and feels that he or she knows the best, then even God cannot teach such a person. So the foremost quality that we all must try to cultivate is humility. We always have to be humble in front of our superiors, in front of our teachers, in front of everybody else, in front of God also. And then even if we make thousands of mistakes, still God will accept us. Still will be liked by people. Now you yourself say, do you like proud people or you like humble people? Do you like people who just keep boasting about themselves, or do you like people who are always humble, gentle, respectful?
Proud people, because I like to hear their boasts.
No. My question is, what kind of people you like to associate with? Proud people who are always boastful, or gentle, humble people? Who do you like?
Gentle people.
Yeah, just see, you yourself like people who are gentle, humble, respectful. So that's how we should be acting if we want to be liked by others, whether it's our elders, parents, and everybody makes mistakes. We all make mistakes. But then to just not accept them and keep putting the blame on somebody else and not being humble enough to accept that I did wrong, that will not solve the problem, and people will not have any respect for us. This is a lesson for life as we grow up. Being humble, gentle, respectful, even if we make mistake, okay, we don't have to lie. We can always accept, oh, I'm sorry, this is my mistake. So saying sorry is the sign of a great soul, great personality. Accepting our mistakes makes us truly great, not hiding them or lying about them. You know, there is a nice story. There was a lady living in a uh, community, and there was right across the street where she was living, there was a Brahmana. You know what's a Brahmana? A priest. Now, this priest was very, very expert at chanting mantras, doing his pujas and tantra, mantra, yantra, whatever. And he would always take bath 3 times a day and very perfect in all his priestly duties. And right across the street lived this woman. Externally, she was engaged in very sinful ways, sinful activities. But that's just she had got herself into it. But she was internally very humble. And internally, she was always praying to Krishna that please forgive me for this. I've gotten myself into it. I want to come out of it. I'm so sorry for my mistake. She would always pray like this. And externally, she was not like clean like this other priest. She didn't know how to chant mantras, but internally, she was always praying like this. But this person, even though he was very expert studying scriptures, chanting, doing his pujas, he was very proud. He was very proud of what he was doing. And regularly he would look at this lady across the street. He would just like, so dirty, so sinful. That was his attitude. And one fine day, he hears a knock on the door. And then he opens the door. Look, guess who was standing?
Lady,
Pardon?
the lady.
No. The messengers of Yamaraj. You know who is Yamaraj? He's the god of death. So he sends his people when it's somebody's time is up, and he punishes them for their wrongdoings. So this person opens up. He was very proud that he was so clean and expert and chanted his Vedas so nicely. And he said, "We have come to take you. You have come to take me to hell?" Yes. He said, "Maybe there is some mistake." Then he looked across the street. He saw there was a celestial airplane, beautiful airplane that had come and parked itself right outside the house of this lady. And it was there to take her to the spiritual kingdom of God. So this person, oh, I understood now. Yeah, I know the mistake. They are supposed to come here and you are supposed to go there because she is the sinful one. And they just showed him Yamaraj's message on WhatsApp. They don't have a WhatsApp, but they have their ways of showing him the list. No, we never make a mistake. You are supposed to come with us, even though you performed your pujas and chanting of mantras and everything so expertly, but you are very proud. So all your other qualities just were useless because of this false pride. So, and they took him to hell where he was punished. And this lady, although externally very sinful, but internally she was so humble. And therefore, the Lord, you have to always remember, eventually, people will respect us for our qualities, not for what we have, not for how much we have achieved. Right? There was a king, and he was so cruel. Now, king is very powerful, wealthy, and he has so much influence. Naturally, everybody bows down to the king. The king was very, very influential, but very cruel. And everybody was so scared of him. And he had a pet dog. And one day that dog died. And the king announced, everybody within the kingdom should come for the funeral of my pet dog to pay their last respects. Guess what happened? Who came? Everyone had to come. Everyone came.
So what was the name of that dog?
I don't know. I will have to ask the king later on. You can imagine whatever name. But the important thing
At
is the
least
message.
you ordered the name of the king.
I don't know. The story is just there to teach a message, to give us a message on humility. So the king went. King was people were very scared of him. So everybody within the kingdom came.
1 minute. So this happened in real.
Yes. No. So when the king died, guess who came?
Every
Pardon? Pardon?
Nobody.
Uh, so nobody came. You know why? When the dog died, everybody came, but when the king died, nobody came. Why? Yes, Shanika.
I think the dog died, the king was alive. So if anybody wouldn't come, they were scared of the king, so they had to come. But now the king died, so there's no one they're scared of.
Exactly. So that means they didn't respect him. They didn't like him because of his cruelty, because of his pride. So being proud, pride is one bad quality that spoils everything else that we have. Nobody likes boastful people. So if we want to be liked by everybody, if we want to be forgiven for our mistakes, and we all make mistakes, whenever we make them, we should be willing to accept them, right? How many times have you all done it that you make a mistake and then you try to hide it, justify it in front of your parents or teachers? Has anybody done that till now? Okay, Shivya has done it. Shivya, what was the mistake? When did it happen?
I forgot, but I did it. Actually, did it today only. I broke the glass, and then my mother got to know.
Okay, so then you tried to justify it, or you just accepted your mistake saying sorry?
I said sorry.
You said sorry?
No,
Yeah.
Daddy has scolded you, not Sai.
No, Mama scolded me.
Acha. So you said sorry though?
Yes.
Yes. So that's the best thing to do. Whenever we make a mistake, just say sorry. How does it matter? And this will make you great in the eyes of others. Pride has to be
And
avoided.
what about the eyes of mine?
Pardon?
What about the eyes of mine?
Eyes. What is she saying? Can somebody explain, Radhya? Avishi, you know what she's trying to say?
No.
No.
He does.
Yes.
Acha, lies of me.
No, you said I'll be great in the eyes of others. So can't I be great? So can't I be great in the eyes of myself?
Of course, when you say sorry, you should feel nice that you are just being honest.
Then you only said I can be great in the eyes of others.
Of course, anybody who says sorry is respected by others, is liked by others. That you are being honest, you are accepting your mistake. And the more we try to hide our mistakes, the more people will get fed up. Isn't it? Every time we tell a lie, no, I didn't do it. Oh, no, and we keep justifying it. So all we can do is just try and be humble. That's the point. And being humble, humility will lead to other qualities. If you are humble, you will be respectful towards others. But if you're not humble, you will disrespect them. You'll insult them. And nobody likes such people. Just like this king, you'll become cruel to others. So eventually, what people will respect us for is the qualities that we have, not because of what we have achieved or how much wealth, influence we have. It is just the qualities. Character, it is called. Right? Character means having the qualities of humility, modesty, compassion for others.
Okay.
Compassion for others, serving others. How many of you like to serve others rather than being served? First question, how many of you like to do seva to others, serve others, help others? Raise your hand.
To help poor children.
Okay. What else? Who else? And how many of you just feel that, no, everybody should always be serving me. I'm just there to receive seva, service. Everybody should do the way I want and give me whatever I want. How many of you think like that?
That king in the story.
Yeah, but we are not like that, right?
No.
Avishi, why your video is off?
1 minute, I'm coming.
Okay, so remember this. Remember the king's story. Remember that Brahman and that lady's story. Humility is the key. If we want to learn something in life, first thing that we need to do is accept that we don't know everything. Remember the story of frog in the well. We are all very small, and we cannot understand God's creation with our limited intelligence, limited senses. So then we need to be guided by someone. Like that's the reason we go to schools also, isn't it? Because we know that we need to learn from proper teachers, from proper books. So when we want to learn about God, His creation, and every aspect of His, then we have to focus on uh, learning from a teacher who teaches us from the authorized books, which are the scriptures. Scriptures are the guidebooks when it comes to God. Shivya, you have a question? No. Okay. So now the next question is, we've discussed how many avatars till now? Who remembers? We did discuss Lord Ramchandra last time because it was the uh, it was the Ram Navami, right? You all remember that?
I think there were 8.
So we've done Matsya, the fish incarnation.
Yes.
We have done Kurma, and we have done Narsingha. We have done Varaha. Varaha also, right?
Who is Varaha?
Varaha is that boar incarnation in which he
No,
lifted.
we did Hiranyakashipu also.
And also we did Varaha where he killed the demon Hiranyaksha, who had hidden the earth inside the ocean. Remember that?
Yes.
Okay. And then we did Ra.
I don't.
Okay. So Hiranyaksha is the demon he killed. He was the younger brother of Hiranyakashipu. He had hidden the earth inside the ocean. And then the Lord incarnated as a Varaha, as a boar, in the shape of a pig, but a huge one. And then he lifted the earth and also killed this demon. Maybe if I show you a picture of the avatar, you will know. Should I?
Yes.
Okay. Let us see. The picture of the fight, or let me just see if I can.
The picture of the fight.
That also I'll show. I found it. Just give me a second. It's downloading. Okay, done. So this is the image. Count till 3.
1, 2, 3.
This one.
Yes,
Remember
we've done this.
We've done this. Okay. So now Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, Narsingha and Ram Avatar we did, although there were 2 avatars before Lord Ramchandra. Parshuram, Lord Parshuram, Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, Narsingha, Vaman, Parshuram and Balaram. Just a second. All right. Can you all saw this? Can you all see this?
Yes.
Kurma, Varaha, Narsingha, Vamana. This was the 5th avatar of the Lord. And the reason the Lord Vamana also means a dwarf. You know what is a dwarf? A small sized person, extremely small, maybe 2 feet, 2.5 feet. So, as you know, there is always a fight going on between the uh, good and the bad. So there was a fight between the Devatas, the demigod, the celestial, the heavenly gods, and also the demons. And the demons won. So the Devatas, headed by Indra, they were driven out of their kingdom, the heavens. They approached Lord Vishnu, and Lord Vishnu is in charge of the maintenance of the universe. So what happened here is that Lord Vishnu told them, don't worry, everything will fall into place very soon. So you know what is the name of the mother of the Devatas, the demigods like Indra, Chandra, Vayu, Surya? Their mother's name is Aditi. Aditi is the name of the mother of the
How
Devas.
many children did she give birth to?
Many children she has. So she started doing a vrata, a fasting, and it's an 11-day fast. And at the end of it, Lord Vishnu appeared to her, and he told her that even before she expressed why she was remembering him, the Lord said, I already know why you have prayed for me. I know you're worried about your children who have been driven out of their homes, and therefore I have come to give them their kingdom back. So Mother Aditi was very, very happy, and the Lord promised her. This is the scene where Lord Vishnu is giving darshan to Mother Aditi. Can you all see on the screen? Is it
Yes.
visible? Okay. And then on an auspicious day, or whenever the Lord incarnates, it becomes auspicious, the Lord took birth as a dwarf, as a Brahmana, because he had a plan in his mind. A very tiny child. And when it is the Lord's birthday, just like if it's your birthday, people come with gifts, isn't it? People come with gifts or no? Nobody is
Yes.
responding.
Yes.
Okay. So Lord Brahma, Shiva, Parvati, Indra, Chandra, Vayu, all the great sages, they came with some gifts because it is the Lord's birthday. It's God's birthday. Somebody gave him a belt, somebody gave him a deer skin, somebody gave him a staff, somebody gave him a kamandalu, water pot, like that. And then the Lord had appeared specifically to take the kingdom away from the demons and give it back to the Devatas. So he comes to know that the king, who is the king of the demons, King Bali. What is the name of the king of the demons at that time?
Bali.
King Bali. King Bali was performing a yajna close by. And whenever somebody does some puja, it's a tradition that one must also give some dakshina to the brahmanas.
Who is
So,
this? Who is this small boy here?
so this is the Lord who is being dressed up by his parents. And because he appeared as a tiny boy, his name was Vamana. Vamana means dwarf, a tiny child. So it's a Vamana. It's called Vaman avatar.
He's so big in the picture.
Pardon?
He's really big in the picture, but
No, it's small. You can see they are sitting and it's almost the same height when they are seated. Just see this one, the middle one who is holding a water pot.
oh,
Okay, this one. There's an umbrella over his head. So he starts going to this place where the yajna was going, puja was going on, and he was so effulgent. He looked so powerful, although tiny. And when he entered the arena, they thought millions of suns were entering. He was so powerful, so effulgent. There was light everywhere emitting from his body. And although he was tiny, because it is the Lord Himself, God, when He was walking, it is mentioned the earth shook because of the pressure of His tiny feet. Earth was shaking. Then He was welcomed by the king, King Bali. And he washed his feet as per the tradition, and then he asked him that, my dear Brahmana, why have you come here? It seems that there is a purpose. So please tell me, how can I serve you? What can I offer you? And guess what Lord Vamana asked? Now this king didn't know that it was the Supreme Lord Vishnu who had come to cheat him, take all the kingdom away from him. He was ruling all the three worlds by this time. So guess what the Lord asked for? When the king asked him, okay, ask for anything, any charity that you want.
The
He said, I
kingdom.
can give you. He said, I can give you kingdoms, I can give you a good wife, I can give you villages, I can give you the, I can give you
Yeah, 3
jewels.
steps of land.
Yeah,
Haan,
so
Shivya.
steps of land.
How do you all know?
I've heard the story before.
Yes.
Okay, good, good. He said, I just want 3 steps of land. The king just laughed. He said, I thought you were intelligent. You just want 3 steps of land. You are so tiny, your 3 steps would be so tiny. Ask for something else. And then the Lord said, see, satisfaction is the greatest quality, one of the greatest qualities. If one is not satisfied with what he has, he will never be satisfied, even if he gets the whole world. So it is satisfaction that we must try to cultivate. So I just want 3 steps of land. Now the king agreed, okay, if you this is what you want, I'll give you 3 steps of land. But you know, the king had a guru. Who knows the name of the guru? Who can tell me the name of the guru of the king?
I forgot something with P or S maybe.
S. Shukracharya.
Yeah.
The rishi, the guru, he understood, oh, my disciple, the king, would be cheated. And this is Lord Vishnu who has come in the form of this dwarf child. And he'll take away everything. So he told the king, don't give it, don't give it. It is Lord Vishnu, he'll take everything away. And King Bali said, he was thinking, the guru should teach the disciple to serve God. And here my guru is teaching me not to serve God, so he's not my guru anymore. He rejected his guru. The guru's job is to teach his disciple how to serve God, and here he was not doing his duty, so therefore he was rejected as a guru. He was not a guru anymore. Then the king agreed. As soon as the king announced that he promises to give 3 steps of land in charity to the Brahmana, now the story gets really interesting. What happens after that?
The dwarf's feet become so big. One step takes away the earth, one step takes the heaven, and then there's no more land left. So the king says to put his feet on his head, and then the king goes inside the earth.
Okay, so that's where, yes, you're 90% all right. So what happens as soon as the king announced, I promise to give this Brahmana 3 steps of land, then this dwarf who was nearly 2 feet, he started expanding his size. It became so huge, and the king is watching, his soldiers are watching, they're getting scared, and the king is so happy because he understood it was Lord Vishnu. With the first step, the Lord, now he measured the lower planets up to Mother Earth, up to the Earth. He managed everything with the first step, because you can imagine the enormous size of the Lord. Then with the second step, I'll just show you. It will be good if I can put that picture on screen. A little bit you can see. Yeah. Let us see. With the second step, now till Earth, everything has been measured starting from the lower planets. Now that means 1/2 of the universe has been taken over by the Brahmana with first step. Now what is remaining is the upper half. So the Lord started taking his second step, and when he took that second step, he covered the rest of the universe. As you can see in this screen, you can see the second step going up, up and up. And the second step touched the covering of the universe. Now the story gets really interesting. He touched the second, with his second step, he touched the covering of the universe. The universe has a covering. It's like the shape of an egg, oval shaped. And when the Lord's foot touched the covering of the universe, gently although, but it was so powerful, there was a crack in the covering, and through that crack, some water came inside the universe. Very little, maybe a drop. And that drop fell into this universe, washing the foot of the Lord, and that became, what did it become? A very famous river. A very famous river.
Ganga.
Ganga. So this is the story of origin of Ganga in the universe. So that drop which came inside, now Ganga is known as Charanamrit, or the water that has washed the feet of the Lord. This was the first time Ganga entered the universe. And how did it become Ganga? How did this water become so pure? Because it washed the foot of the Lord, and therefore coming in touch with that purified foot, it also became pure forever. That's the origin of Ganga. Then the Lord said, Hanji?
You said that a drop came, but the Ganga is very big.
Yeah, so the drop came from within the crack of the universe. Now you can imagine how big the universe is. Billions and billions of miles wide. So a drop compared to the drop we are thinking is much, much bigger. So think from the universal point, it's a crack in the, it is not a hole inside our house, ceiling of the house, it's a hole within the covering of the universe. So remember that. And that's how the Lord's size was also enormous, huge. When you are measuring the universe, your size also has to be big. So remember the frog in the well story. We are the frog, small, tiny. So it was a hole in the covering of the universe. And then the king said, the Lord told the king, you have cheated me. You promised to give me 3 steps of land, but I have covered everything with the first 2. I have nowhere else to place my 3rd step. You have cheated me. You are a cheater. But do you think the king is a cheater? Who is a cheater here? Who is cheating? Who is cheating whom? Answer. Who is a cheater here? Who has cheated whom? Arey, guess to karo. You are all hearing.
The
Yes, Avishi?
Lord has cheated the king. The king.
How come?
I think the king cheated the Lord.
No. Because when the Lord came, he asked for 3 steps of land. But he asked as per his size when he was little. But then he started expanding his size. So it was cheating. But the Lord is telling the king, you have cheated me. You are a cheater. You have not been able to fulfill your promise. So you must be punished. And then what the Lord did? He just called for Garuda, his carrier, and arrested the king. The king was arrested with a snake rope. And his followers were very angry. They attacked Lord Vamana, but his followers killed all of them. But the king was very humble, gentle, and he didn't say a word. He was inside his heart, he was feeling very ecstatic, joyful that, oh, the Lord is so kind. And the Lord was then very pleased with him, with his surrender, because even though the king was insulted by the Lord, everything was taken away from him. He was humiliated, disrespected, arrested, still chastised. Still the king kept quiet. He did not speak a word. So the Lord was very, very happy with his humility, with his surrender. And therefore he said, I am pleased with your surrender. I just tested you. And therefore, people think that then the Lord just pushed him to the lower planets. No. The Lord gave him so many blessings, unlimited blessings. And one of the blessings he gave is that I'll give you a very, very powerful planet to rule. It is known as Sutala Loka. It is one of the lower planets. And this kingdom, this planet is more opulent than Indra's heavens, which he was right now occupying. So even though the Lord took away the heavens from Bali, he gave him a much bigger and opulent kingdom. And not just this much. The Lord said, this kingdom will never ever be conquered by anyone. Once Ravana, when he was trying to conquer the universe, had also come here. And he had tried to attack this kingdom, but he was kicked away, could not conquer this kingdom. The reason is the Lord also gave a blessing to Bali that not only this, I will personally guard your planet. I will stand there as a doorkeeper, as a guard. And if anybody tries to intervene and try to attack you, I will personally punish them. So when Ravana came, he was kicked by Lord Vamana and he just went miles flying away. So even though it seems that the Lord punished Bali, but it wasn't so. He actually rewarded him 1,000,000 times over. Because a very powerful principle we have to always remember that if we offer anything to the Lord, it may be very insignificant, but Krishna sees it as something very important and he will reward us 1,000,000 times in return. That's why I've been telling all of you every day, make sure that you offer some flower or a fruit or some tulsi leaf or some juice or some sweets to the Lord. How many of you are continuing to do that? It just takes few seconds, but it will go a long way in fetching you unlimited blessing, grace of the Lord. How many of you are doing that regularly? Okay, Maisha is doing. Who else? Shinika is doing. Shivya, you're not doing?
What?
I do it, but not every day.
No, you all should make it a point that every day you do it. How much time will it
I've
take?
stopped nowadays.
You should resume now. फिर से शुरू करो. ठीक है? Maybe a little flower or a fruit or whatever you can. It'll just take you 2 seconds. You can tell your mothers to keep it ready. So this is the story of Lord Vaman Avatar. And one important thing that we learn here is that even if we offer little, the rewards that we get in return are unlimited. And anybody who offers anything to the Lord is never forgotten, is blessed 1,000,000 times. So I'll not take up the next avatar. Today we did it in a detail. So we discussed one particular quality today through various stories. What is that? That we all must try and
Humble.
practice in life.
Humble.
And the
Humble.
opposite of humble, being humble or humility is?
Being proud.
Try.
Okay. So now in the end, I want to ask you, just share an incident where you have acted out of pride and which you would like to avoid in future. And with whom? Maisha, you want to share? No? Okay. Is there an incident you can remember where you think you acted out of pride and which you should not repeat in future? No? You are good children already? Humble children? You are humble?
No, I'm not humble.
Okay.
Here you are.
Avishi is
According
saying
to
you are
you.
humble. Avishi is
That's
saying
not according to me.
that itself proves that Shivya is humble.
No.
So anybody who thinks that, oh, I am very humble, is actually
I
not.
think I'm not humble. I think I'm very rough.
Avishi, what do you have to say about this?
Huh?
Radhya, Shivya is saying she's not humble.
Actually, ask Raja everything, not me.
So even though we have to be humble, but we should never say, oh, we are humble. So Shivya is actually humble. That's why she's saying that she is not humble. We should always think like that I am always at fault. I am not humble. And that's how we will be able to maintain our humility. But if we think, oh, I am very humble, that's also a sign of pride, na? I am very humble. A person who is humble will never say he is humble. He or she is humble. So we should ourselves think, oh, I am not humble. Others are humble. And if you have humility, if you are humble, then you'll be respectful also. You will have all the other good qualities as well. And then everybody will appreciate you, even if you make thousands of mistakes. Remember the story of the frog in the well. Remember the story of that lady and the Brahman. Remember the story of that dog and the king. Eventually, people will respect us for our qualities, not for what we have, not for the authority that we have, not for the power we have. Being humble means being respectful and not trying to justify our mistakes. Accept them, learn from them, and move on. And that's the kind of attitude which everybody appreciates. Hare Krishna. Shivya, why is your camera off today? Are you cooking something?
No, of course not. Why would I be cooking?
Why is your camera off then?
I just felt like keeping it off.
Okay, good. You are humble. That's why you don't want to show your,
Humble!
because you don't want to show your face. You are being so humble.
Blah, blah, blah.
All right. So we'll stop here. We'll see you next Sunday. And homework is the same. Those 10 prayers I had posted, Dashavatar. Please, whatever I've requested, like offering something every day to the Lord, do that as a practice. Cultivate it as a habit. It could be a flower or a fruit, or you can tell your parents to keep it ready. Just go and offer 2 minutes. Wahan khade, okay. And secondly, make sure you all recite those prayers which I had shared earlier, right? Has anybody ever, has anybody did it even once since the time I posted it? Read those prayers? Okay, Radhi has done. Okay. Please continue reciting the Vish. Every day just read 10, 12 minutes, just give for your prayers. Do to offer whatever you can, a flower, a fragrant flower or a fruit, whatever. And then also recite those 10 prayers. You will be unlimitedly blessed. It will just take you 8 to 10 minutes, but you will see the change. You will develop humility. We all want to develop, right? Humility. Okay, Acha, before we end, what are the qualities that you would like to develop in yourself? One is humility, of course. What other qualities?
Naughtiness.
You want to develop naughtiness?
Yes.
Okay, you're already so naughty.
Sound will
Okay.
come more naughty, simple.
Okay. Shinika, what other qualities would you like to develop in yourself?
Kindness.
Pardon?
Kindness.
Kindness. All right. Very nice. Avishi?
Naughtiness.
Naughtiness. Radhya?
Kindness.
And you will need tolerance if both of them are naughty.
He wants us to vanish.
Is Shanaya?
And that's a cleverness.
Shanaya? Anything? Your mic is off. Amor? Ramana? Ishan?
The politeness.
Politeness. Okay, good. So we have to work towards these qualities if we know this is what we want. So remember 3 stories we discussed today about humility. The frog in the well, the king and the dog, and which is the third one?
Prabhuji, can I leave? I have another class.
Yes, and the king and the dog, and the Brahmana and the
Lady.
lady. And we also discussed about Vaman Avatar, which is also about humility, how the king humbly surrendered everything and the Lord rewarded him so much. He was very pleased with his humility. All right. Hare Krishna. Next week we'll do another quality. But this week you all can focus on cultivating humility, where you can be humble. All right. Hare Krishna. See you
Hare
next
Krishna.
week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.